Good morning, British Literature students. Welcome to week 2 of the British Literature class for the fall 2016 semester. Let me open this up by saying that I am extremely pleased with the great start this class has gotten off to. We had that quiz over pre-1800 England last week, and yesterday at about 5:30, I went and looked at the quiz scores. And I can tell you that we have 19 students in the class. 15 of you had taken the quiz by about 5:30 yesterday, and all 15 of you got A's. That is just, I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am about that. That's a great start. I hope we keep it going throughout the rest of the semester. Everybody getting A's is my kind of class, and I hope that we continue to get A's on every subject that comes up through the rest of the semester. So great job there. All right, now I'm going to have to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about the financial aid situation. Some of you are having trouble getting your financial aid awards. Some of you can't seem to get bookstore credits. Just know that you're not the only one affected by the problems that have descended upon the financial aid office. Some of your classmates in this very class are having the same problems, and many students across campus or across the online universe are having that same problem. The bookstore is not getting the credits from the financial aid office in a timely fashion, and the financial aid office is struggling to try and get everybody their financial aid. There is nothing like this that we have ever seen at this school before. This is a first-time thing. Do know that all your instructors should be aware of this. So this is something that we talked about in the Faculty Senate meeting last Wednesday, which is basically a body of teachers that get together and try to deal with issues on campus. And there's not much we can really do about it except try to work with you until we get the financial aid to you that you need. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little bit lenient in weeks 2 and 3 and maybe week 4. I'm going to be a little bit lenient with these due dates to a certain extent. I'm not going to let you turn everything in on week 10. I'm not going to be that doggone lenient. But I will be understanding about due dates and not, penalize late work or anything like that if it turns out that you can't really get all your work in a timely fashion. It's not your fault. I'm sure you did everything you had to do to file the paperwork on time and try to get your applications in on time and fill out your FAFSAs and all of that. There was a perfect storm that descended upon the financial aid office that caused this mess. And Dr. Carvajal, who is the president of Darden State College, discussed that at great length in front of the Faculty Senate last Wednesday. And I can assure you that they're trying their best. Another thing I will do, which will only benefit the students that live here in Albany, but it's still something. I can't really have you go online and look for these readings because one of your readings is William Wordsworth's Prelude to the Lyrical Ballads, and there's a couple of chapters out of that. The Prelude is like a big long book-length introduction. And I'm only having you reading a couple of sections of that. I'm having you read What is a Poet, and then the Reflections in Tranquility, or it's not exactly that title, but it's something close to that. So I will put a hard copy of the book on reserve at the library, where you can go up and request it and they can give it to you. You will not be allowed to leave the library with a book. You must do your reading there in the library, take your notes there in the library, and then you'll return the book to the desk before you leave so that the next student that needs it can then come up and perhaps be able to use the book. So for those of you that live in Atlanta or Florida or wherever, I apologize that doesn't help you much, but I'm hoping that extending the deadlines of these postings will help you get caught up a little bit. If you already have the books, then for goodness sakes, please try and stay caught up, because what I really don't want to do is have to grade 3 weeks worth of postings for 19 students in week 4. So if you already have the materials, then please try to stay on schedule. All right. So that's the bad news. The good news, of course, is the great start on the quizzes. When you do these postings, if you go into the assignments module in the D2L page, you'll see weekly discussion postings online. That is instructions on what my expectations for these puzzles are. Please take the time to read that. Too many times I will count off points on students because they don't format their paper in MLA format, or I will, or actually you don't really have to do that on the postings because you're posting them online. But sometimes they don't include direct quotes from the actual work that we're talking about. For this first week, there's a 3-parter on the discussion posting. Try to answer all 3 questions. Read everything carefully. I've tried to make these instructions as thorough and as clear as I can. And if you don't understand them, email me or call me during my office hours or drop by and visit me during office hours. So I'm trying to help you get a good grade in this class as best I can. So that's all I have for this week. Wordsworth and Coleridge, they are the birth of what is known as the Romantic movement. Together they published something called Lyrical Ballads, and you're going to have the readings from those this week. Or is it just Wordsworth? It might just be Wordsworth this week. Nope, it's Wordsworth and Coleridge. So, yes, talk about both authors. Don't just talk about Wordsworth only, because then you'll lose points on the posting. Talk about both Wordsworth and Coleridge. They were 2 guys that were best friends. So know that. And they collaborated together on the Lyrical Ballads, and yet they still had little differences in their ideas of what poetry should be. What you're getting when you read What is a Poet is Wordsworth's idea of what a poet should be. If you're interested in Coleridge's, you can go read Bibliographia Literaria, which I did not assign to you, but you could get an idea about Coleridge from that. Notice that Coleridge bases a lot of his poetry, and you're going to read We Are Seven, in reality and in the language of everyday people and everyday settings. Coleridge still likes the supernatural. So when you read Rime of the Ancient Mariner, you're going to see ghosts and ghost ships and impossible things like rising corpses and things like that Wordsworth would not dare put in his own poetry. So they both collaborated on Lyrical Ballads, and they both started a new Romantic movement, and yet there's still differences between the 2 of them. And so that's what I kind of want you to look at for this week. So on that note, I hope you enjoy Wordsworth and Coleridge. I hope that if you have any questions, you'll contact me about them. And I really hope this financial aid situation gets straightened out for everybody so we can go full steam ahead. And have a great week.